Right, back to Bellsprout Tower. We've still got some stuff to do in there before we start thinking of moving on. Though considering we were told there are ghosts in there, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try to capture one and then train it before heading to the next town. Which is of course gonna slow me down to the point where I'm sure I'm gonna fast forward a good deal more. We'll deal with that when we get to it. We've still got a bunch of sages with low-level grass Pokemon to smack around for the moment. And I suppose I shouldn't be too harsh on them all having Bellsprouts and a Bellsprout named Pagoda, especially since I have a Bellsprout on my team at the moment. Still, when they say they do this to honor all Pokemon, it feels a bit off since, well, they only use one species as the type they train in here. We damn well know there are wild Pokemon in this tower that are not Bellsprouts. Show some respect for them as well, sir. Again, really like the fact that this is pretty one-sided in Flender's favor. That's going to be very rare before he learns Bite. And as I say that, I realize that this win is going to put Flender as the first ace of the second generation. I certainly didn't see that one coming. Welcome to level 10, Flender. You are the first ace of the team before you have your better attack moves, Bite and Wing Attack. And it looks like Lurker is going to be the second ace of our team. And I'm sure that Venus is going to get placed onto the board in this clip, but Uzumaki isn't going to gain anything in this tower since, well, he's water type and we're dealing with grass types that only know a grass attack. And Gramash, who would probably be very well suited to fighting against these bastards, might not see any action since he's already one of the higher level guys we've got right now. Again, I like trying to make my team as close to the same level as I can manage, and considering the quality of fights we're going through right now, it's hard to really give all that much of a damn about sending out the best possible choice against the Pokemon being thrown at us. That puts Lurker at 6 wins. He's the highest scoring member of the team right now. Well, you're welcome for whatever that's worth. Bullshit. There are predators and prey, but I'm not too sure how grass Pokemon and ghost Pokemon fit into that sort of categorization. Do grass Pokemon eat other plants, insects, or just operate off photosynthesis and don't actually eat anything in their mouths? And, do ghosts really need to eat when they don't have internal organs or blood? Granted, both types will eat berries to heal if you feed them to them, but that doesn't tell me how they act in the wild, or if they actually eat things when hungry, or if it's something similar to potions and it's just something with healing properties that they can use. I'm sure that various fanfics or even the anime have the answer for me there, but I do not know based on the games themselves, because again, the games don't seem to do all that much to make you feel like you're in the Pokemon world, since they barely do anything more to make you feel more immersed than you are in the first 2 generations. Some gods are introduced, there are a few games that give you the ability to pet your Pokemon and various other nice little tidbits, and some odd story elements on top of the usual get 8 gym badges thing. I'm pretty sure the closest I ever felt like I lived in the Pokemon world was when I played some of the side games like Pokemon Snap, and I'm sure I'll feel that way again when I get around to working on Pokemon Snap too. Granted, Legends Arceus was also a good step in the right direction, but I kinda lost faith in Game Freak at this point, and apparently I'm not going to bother letting Venus get on the scoreboard just yet, since I'm just grinding against the wild Pokemon inside the tower, instead of going after more weaker trainers with our Bellsprout against their Bellsprouts. Maybe I should have fast-forwarded as soon as I got to this point. It's not like I hesitate to fast-forward in this game. We've seen plenty of sped-up footage in the past 13 clips. Well, again, I'm not in all that much of an actual hurry. Is there a particular reason this building has wild Pokemon in it when numerous other buildings we've been in don't? And why are those wild Pokemon weaker than the ones we could find in the grass outside of town? Again, probably something that's worth asking, since we're never going to get an in-universe explanation, but still, that's just where my mind occasionally goes, and sometimes it's its own kind of fun to point out things that I'd like to know more about as we're going through the world around us. Still, even from a game design perspective, it seems a bit odd to me. We had to casually walk through Tuffer just to enter this town. Seriously, it's one thing for Bellsprout Tower to feel easier than the gym in the same town. Apparently we were supposed to think to come here first. But it feels strange for it to feel easier than the grass outside of the town, which we absolutely had to get through just to get in here. As a side note, it's definitely annoying when you want the random encounters to come and they don't. I'm trying to decide if it's more annoying when you don't get random encounters when you want to grind, or when you get more than you'd like as you're trying to get from point A to point B. Right, Venus is up to level 10, so let's keep pushing further into the tower. After some healing, apparently, I've got the distinct feeling we're not going to see the outside of this town by the time we're done with this clip. I just hope we won't take nearly as long going out of Violet Town to whatever the next one is as it did for us to move on from Cherry Grove to Violet, especially since we came to the gym badge 2 clips ago. I'm sure you will, because I spent far too much time training my Pokemon than I probably should. Speaking of, it looks like I'll start fast-forwarding in the next few bits of raw footage I threw into this clip, and apparently I waited until it was night. I suppose it makes sense that I waited until night for the sake of getting a ghost on the team. Not that I've got a lot of slots to put said ghost in at the moment. Well, that's certainly not the ghost we're looking for, but no harm in taking down some rats to help gain some more experience before we get a Ghastly here. That's right, a Ghastly. While the second generation does introduce Misdreavus, I don't know where to find that particular ghost, so it probably shows up so late in the game that by then I just don't want to do any more switching around to my roster. Seriously, there are a number of Pokemon that were introduced in the second generation, but most of the ones that we can actually capture are Generation 1 Pokemon here. Excuse me for feeling that cuts the legs right out from under a Johto as a region. I'm sorry, but how does an ethereal creature have any kind of weight whatsoever? Hell, considering it consistently floats, I don't think it has any weight whatsoever. It probably is just another thing I'm not supposed to think about here. Anyway, let's name the little horror guy that we're adding to the team Vincent for Vincent Price. And let's get him onto our team so we can start training him. Yeah, really don't see anyone in particular left on the team that I want to replace permanently with Vincent. This would probably be less of an issue if it wasn't for the fact that we're carrying the egg right now. I'm really not a fan of the Pokemon we gain from the egg we get at the start of the game, and in general, I don't like going through the whole breeding mechanics in this or any other Pokemon game. I'm pretty sure I already talked about that earlier on in the LP, probably back when we were given the egg to deliver to Professor Elm. Anyway, it's probably a bad idea to train up Vincent in the tower we gained him in, since his only attack cannot damage normal types. Which of course means that the ghost type we could gain there would be completely useless against the gym in the same town. Seriously, who the hell decided what Pokemon were available when in this game? Really seeing a lot of iffy decisions here at the start. Minor question. Why is it when we inflict a status effect on a Pokemon, we can no longer see what level it is? It feels like there's enough room on the bar up there for that kind of information, especially with the way they don't bother writing the entire word for the status effect. Good amount of experience. That's a good sign that we're going to be leveling up at a good pace with Vincent. Okay, really getting lucky with that paralysis, aren't we here? We'll see if that means we can manage to beat this level 4 Poliwag with a level 3 Ghastly because of that level of luck. Okay, apparently not, but can you blame me for hoping we'd get that lucky? Guess we're going to go to the Pokemon Center again. Right, leveled up despite having it to switch out. That's always nice to see as we try to make progress. And once more into the grass so we can keep on grinding. Just what percentage of this LP so far has been nothing but grinding anyway? And now we can't do anything with the ghost we've caught since, well, that bird counts as normal. All 3 birds available this early in the game are immune to ghost attacks, though if Vincent could strike the flying types, then moves like Tackle certainly wouldn't do anything in return to us, so most birds wouldn't have a chance against us at this low level anyway. Weird how that works. And we're back to fighting things that Vincent can actually harm. Very nice to see. Definitely gonna win this exchange here, though considering at the moment I'm thinking of having Lurker, Vincent, Venus, and Flender on the team for a good while at this point. I'm pretty sure that's just asking for some trouble against psychic types later on in this playthrough. All that poison. I wonder which of them I'm gonna be more inclined to replace later on and what I'll replace them with. Bloody hell. It's been so long since I played the 2nd generation that I may as well be going through it completely blind. I really hope that somehow manages to make this LP more entertaining than the 1st generation playthrough. Please tell me we can manage to take out this Poliwag without having to switch Vincent out this time. And now I can't help wondering which Vincent finds more tasty to lick, a Poliwag or a Spinarak. Well, we didn't have to switch even if we had a bad enough luck to get hit by that critical there. It certainly didn't take us long to get Vincent to level 6. I'm really hoping we keep up the pace as we get him to level 10. And clearly I wasn't paying enough attention when this bird showed up. Ah well, no harm there. Well, this is taking a bit longer than I was hoping. Kind of tempted to head back to the Pokemon Center now, though that might just be premature of me. Yeah, Vincent can definitely take that down without any trouble, even in his current condition. Pretty much everyone that Vincent has fought against has become paralyzed. Just what are the odds of that attack having that extra effect anyway? Can we do the same to this other Spinarak? And another one down. I'm sure if I kept track of non-trainer Pokemon taken down, that Vincent would have a very impressive number here. But no, I'm only going to count Pokemon that are part of another trainer's team, just like in the first generation. I was a little tempted to save, but then I looked at the clock and went, yeah, I can do some more before I take another break, especially since I'm not doing anything especially intellectually stimulating at the moment. Seriously, as necessary as grinding is in Pokemon, it can be tough to feel all that invested in doing it, so it helps to have something to read when you're just trying to get someone you just gained up to par. Pretty close to level 8 at this point. Again, bit of a obscene number of Pokemon we've managed to paralyze with that move. Sure, it's not 100% effective, but still pretty damn constant there. Oh dear, Spite is not a move that I'm all that likely to bother using. Despite the fact that we've got a healthy number of Pokemon this far into the game, it's downright ridiculous how many moves they've got that I just don't give a damn about. Ugh. Close to 9 now. Again, this isn't gonna take much longer. Well, fingers crossed that Vincent can handle this guy alone. Oh, now he's been paralyzed. Just one more level to go and Vincent will be done grinding, at least for this clip. I'm probably gonna end up in the Pokemon Center again before we're done with this clip. Still, fingers crossed that the next time we go to the center will be the last for now. It certainly looks promising considering the amount of footage left to deal with. Really really wasn't expecting us to run this low on lick attacks. Part of me wants to be concerned just how dry Vincent's tongue has to be after all the enemies we've licked over the course of this clip. The other remembers that he's a ghost, so I'm sure he can't actually get dehydrated. And even if he could, I doubt it'd be lethal. Mostly because, well, he's a frickin' ghost. I'm pretty sure that ghost types can't actually die. Not that Pokemon does all that much to acknowledge death after the first generation's Lavender Town, if I remember correctly. I really should just head back to the Pokemon Center right now, but Vincent still has attacks to throw and he's not in red condition, so... I'm pretty sure if he didn't get paralyzed there, then Vincent might have been knocked out by this guy, though maybe I'm just being too pessimistic. Anyway, Vincent has made it to level 10 in the same clip we gained him. That feels productive. Now let's heal up and save. Right, next time we finish Bellsprout Tower. Assuming that nothing else happens to distract me, of course.